So today, this is what we are checking out. How awesome is this? This is Kasia, Creative Pet Keeping. This is her apartment fish room, and we are gonna go in depth with every single one of these tanks. She's got betta fish, she's got cichlids, she's got live bears, tons of babies, endlers, guppies. She even has Pleco fry over here. And last but not least, she does have a shrimp tank. So we're gonna get into this nice little office, apartment, amazing fish room and show you everything that Creative Pet Keeping has to offer. What is going on, shrimp keepers? This is Rob with flipaquatics.com, and today we're in Kasia, Creative Pet Keeping's fish room with Amanda. You guys can keep talking. I just wanted to get a little intro in, but we're checking out her apartment fish room, and it is pretty amazing. So you guys stay tuned, and you're gonna see the whole thing. If you could give one piece of advice to everyone watching, what would it be?
I guess with fish, it's really exciting to get like a ton of fish when you get into it, because you see all the other YouTubers get cool stuff and you're like, I want to get more stuff. But you have to try to limit yourself a little bit, because when things happen, like you get sick. When I got sick, I couldn't take care of these guys very well, and Daniel saved me and he did my water changes for me, but then all of my tanks looked so ugly for a while, and then I had to clean all of them, and it was so much work. So it's like you think you get a lot, that you can handle it, but life happens sometimes, so less is more at times. Unless you have a helper, you know, like slow down, then you can enjoy what you have a little more. That's why I don't have tanks everywhere else. I could, I want to, but I'm slowly like limiting myself. I think it's good, because it's tempting. I'm tempted to do it. I don't want to keep all the fish.
That's awesome.
The males, and they're starting to get sassy. These are 2 dominant males. So there's actually 4 males in here.
Do they get the sass from you?
I don't know.
And for everyone that doesn't know, but everyone should know, this is Kasia with Creative Pet Keeping. You can see Creative Pet Keeping in the background right there. So definitely check out Kasia's channel, subscribe if you want to see more from this amazing fish room. So Kasia, apartment fish room, office fish room.
Yeah, you could do it too if you have an apartment. Just careful when it comes to your weight. I live in a like, this place technically is a condo, but it's an apartment and it's concrete, so it can handle a little more weight. So just because you see this, just be careful when you plan, because you could be like, oh, I live in an apartment too. She has this in an apartment. Let me get a lot of tanks. Be careful.
Yeah,
like, check out what materials your building is made out of.
Yeah, look at this. She's on the
5th floor.
5th floor, so
that's a long way down.
This is a lot of weight up here. But so, Kasia, what kind of fish do you keep? I mean, you got a little bit of everything.
I have a mix, but predominantly I stick to bettas and cichlids because I'm part of the Greater Chicago Cichlid Association. But I kind of started out with bettas, so I can't really leave bettas behind. But my water is better for cichlids from the lakes in Africa, like Malawi and Tanganyika. So these guys are pretty happy. Any of this fish that needs softer water, I have to kind of fiddle with it. So I try to keep what is better for my water, but it's kind of hard because all the fish I want are like some low pH. I'm just like, I really want it.
But you're getting an RO unit, aren't you?
Well, yeah, I actually have one in the kitchen right now. I got lucky because my dad got like some fancy RO thing for his water, like with a remineralizer, and he gave me an old one. So
nice, so you got it.
So I got a little free one, and I'm like, yay.
Well, that's awesome. Well, let's talk about the cichlids first, just because they're at the top. So, what kind of cichlids are these?
So these guys are Chromis from a very specific location in Lake Malawi called the Jalo Reef. So that's why they're referred to as Chromis Jalo. These are the 2 dominant males, but we actually have 2 more males that are kind of like sneaker males. So they're actually coloring themselves like a female to avoid fighting. But if I were to remove these 2 males, these guys would color up right away to that color.
Really?
Because I actually had this guy and another one in here, and I sold him with some girls, and then this guy colored up.
Wow, so there's always 2 that color up?
Well, usually there's like a dominant and subdominant like in a tank.
Gotcha.
I don't know what would happen in the wild, but you can tell. See, that's a male because you can see the shimmer.
Yeah.
So the color's still there. He just turned it down. And a lot of wild fish can do that. And like the wild bettas can do that too, where they turn off their coloration and become like really boring, not to attract attention.
Yeah.
Because in the wild, you want to do that. Oddly enough, when it comes to captive fish, people buy and selectively breed the colorful ones that stay colorful. So I think over time, through captivity, our fish retain the colors and they maintain them. Because with bettas, when you get a nice domestic betta, it will have that color already. But with wilds, you have to wait for the color to really get in there after they become comfortable.
That makes sense.
So it's interesting. And then this guy's my little survivor.
Yeah, so what happened with this guy?
I was breeding some of the electric yellows, also known as, I'm totally going to read this, Chromis Corellius. I can never say it wrong.
Sounds really good.
I'm trying to remember all the Latin names. I can remember these, but I cannot remember this guy. So his parents, I was spawning to get my club point for breeding like every different species. You get a different point. So usually you would grab some fish, grow them up, breed them, raise up the babies, turn them in, and then sell them to other club members to rotate fish species so you can get another one.
Yeah.
So after I bred that group, I wanted to get these guys to grow them up because another club member, Mike Hefford, he had a huge group, and I actually had more of these guys, but I recently sold them because he was like, take them because I have so many and my grow outs are full. So this was like the grow out group. And then this little guy, when the female, she spit out the babies and the other fish ate all the other babies, he swam into the canister filter, which is over there, and he lived there for like at least a month.
No way.
And then because I clean out the canister filter once a month, so when I open
Well, you are the only fish keeper that does that. That is awesome.
Well, because I'm paranoid, because these guys are, they're not like super rare, but they're kind of rare, and I want to mess it up, so I want to maintain everything. So I cleaned it once a month, and he was in there just alive. So after that,
awesome.
I was like, I need to keep him. So he's my little canister survivor.
That's a great story. So you got some betas down here.
Yep.
What kind of betas do you have?
That is my little half-moon, very poorly bred Pleco guy who just is a fin biter. But he's living his life. He just gets angry at his own reflection and attacks himself.
That's crazy that they do that.
I'm probably going to put him in a smaller tank or jar, because I think he needs some alone space that's blacked out that he can't see his reflection.
Yeah.
So some bettas, it's great for them to flare. Like these guys like to flare, he likes to flare, but for this guy it's bad. So you have to really adjust based on your particular betta. This is my oldest guy. He is a plaquette male.
He's pretty.
His name is Raspberry, and he fathered a baby you're going to see a little later. This is a veil tail female, and she doesn't really have a name. She probably should. And then this is Angry Boy. That's what we did.
He's Angry Boy?
Yeah, that's his name. Like boy spelled B-O-Y.
Angry Boy.
Because that's what all the...
Yeah, I mean, he's flaring up at himself right now.
Yeah, he is. He just gets angry at everything. So he's also a plaquette, but he's a marble. So you can see he's already starting to change.
Yeah.
So he might, over time, maybe become a fully red betta, or he might stay like that with a little bit of red on him. Not
That's
really
pretty.
sure.
Now, I have to ask, did you make these dividers yourself?
No, Sheila did from Life with Pets. So she has the most amazing dividers. You can actually buy them on her site. She also sells them on Amazon.
What's her site? Lifewithpets.com?
I think it's Gardener Innovations. I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up. But you can also find her dividers on Amazon now, as well as eBay. She's selling them everywhere.
Wow,
and
good for her.
She has ones for 10 gallons, 20-gallon longs, 20 talls, and she can offer ones with drilled holes or without. So she actually has one divided 20-gallon tank that is divided just in the middle. She siliconed it, so the dividers don't come out.
Yeah.
And they have no holes, and she has shrimp in the middle, 2 bettas on the side.
That's really cool.
That she's breeding. So these, you can remove them, and the cool thing is, the sides extend, so they fit perfectly, and then you have these cute little clippies that help keep them in place. These guys are little baby Lamprologus tigripictillus. So the adults are here, and I pulled them so I can grow them out and feed them a little easier. They're only about 3 days old.
Yeah, they're really small.
So they're super, super tiny. Have you ever used these, like, hang on back?
Yeah, I used to use them for shrimp all the time.
They're awesome. Like, all.
They had them for sale on Amazon recently for like that size for like $5.
No.
Yeah, they must have been.
No.
They must have been like clearing out stock. I don't know. They might still be.
Rob, why don't you tell me these things?
We'll check right after this video.
Friends tell friends when fish supplies go on sale.
Shut up!
Okay?
I'm sorry. It won't happen again. That's funny.
The Lamprologus tigripictillus are in here. We have a couple females, a ginormous male that's hanging out in the back. They're all really shy. If I put out food, they might come out. And they're very shy, so even when the food comes out, they don't come out right away. They'll think about it. Like that little one is like maybe. Oh, this one's like conveniently, I will just stick my head out.
Yeah, it'll just come right into my cave. Oh, there's one in the back.
So they'll come and they'll find it eventually, but they're really shy.
They are really shy.
They might not do it if we're watching too. You guys are not cooperating. You can also put a tiny bit in the back. I specifically didn't feed anyone this morning because I knew since you're coming, I'll probably feed everybody. I'm hoping the male, see that's the big male, he might come for food. He has a big hump on his forehead.
I see him.
He's the cool dude of the group. They can hear me shake it, so I know they're like getting curious. I think I have 2 males in here potentially, so the big dominant male who's like in charge of the whole tank, and a subdominant male who's pretending to be a female because he doesn't want to get beat up. Because these guys will beat up anything that's in a tank. I had a Pleco in here, and they would have killed it if I didn't take it out.
Jeez.
He was hanging out in the front like, help me please.
Poor guy.
I need to feed these because they're like, please feed.
Please
She
feed
never
me,
feeds
Mom.
us. She only feeds us when someone films a fishing tour. Here. Oh gosh.
Oh yeah, they were hungry.
They're always like this though. Like you would think I don't feed them. They get fed like 3 times a day in there.
That's crazy. They ate that so fast.
Yeah. Ideally, I'm trying to grow algae in this tank because they would graze. But see how like there's algae growing everywhere else? But
not in this tank. It's
because
clean.
They will pick it clean. They love eating algae.
And you said they actually ate the hair algae off the...
hair algae.
Off
So
the
I'll
moss.
rotate things out
That's
of other
crazy.
tanks and they'll clean it off. As long as it's like a plant they don't want to eat. So they will, for example, eat duckweed. They will eat jungle val. So there's certain plants they will eat.
But they won't eat Java moss.
Yeah, I don't know why.
That's
I thought they were
crazy.
going to eat it. because I was like, it was covered in moss. Like I was gonna throw it out. Like there's no way I'm picking out. It was just a ball.
Yeah.
Like it looked like a moss ball at that point, and they just went to town.
And they ate all the algae, but didn't eat any of it.
No, that's hanging out by the filter, and I can pluck that out later. Put it in a
That's
strip tank.
crazy.
There's also my extra plecos. These are my spare plecos. So I have a breeding pair, but in case anything happened to them, these are my backup ones.
Yeah, it looks like some nice. They almost look like long fins.
They are. Well,
Pretty.
because these guys are a little nippy, they can't be too long fin because they will nip them, which is why I put all the driftwood down so they could hide.
Yeah.
So this tank is like a boring tank, but it's a breeding/grow out, so it's like functionality over looks, unfortunately. I wanted to make this a really cool tank one day, but I like the
One
fish.
day.
So it's cool fish, right?
It is.
Cool fish, boring tank.
That's alright. I like it. Now, I love this beta.
This is Sunny. Even
What
though
kind of
he has
beta is that?
He has a veil tail, and even though he has a little tumor on the side of his mouth kind of growing, he's living his best life. Daniel printed out his label. It just says Sunny Boy.
Sunny boy.
Because all the tanks have labels, and that's the label for this one. So he hangs out with endlers. He's the most active betta I have, so he will swim laps like nonstop.
Wow.
He's starting to slow down a little bit because he's getting old. Oh, this is some of the blaster
plants.
ting I got from you.
Ooh. Did you glue it on?
No, I just tied it with some thread.
Wow.
Like, gently.
You got all kinds of stuff in here. Tons of Anubias. Is that petite?
Yep.
I like your little planet tank.
It's kind of cute. I have a problem because this tank is my well, it's not the original tank because I had the same kind but an older one that cracked.
Yeah.
But the original 20 tall where I started out my YouTube channel with, I used to use a T5 light on it. And I don't know why. Even though I have a Phoenix light on here, I thought it would be the same, but nothing grows as nice as that T5 bulb. And I had a whole wall of like jungle val, and that tank was so beautiful. That's the only video that is like at 800,000 views.
What?
But over like 8 years or so. It's like a long time. But I have never been able to recreate. Like I'm trying, and I can never get the val to grow the same way again.
Darn it.
And it's like the bane of my existence.
Well, yeah, I mean, they look good. Like even in this tank, you have the val going.
Yeah, I'm trying with this one. This one actually has the little cheap light, so you can totally use. This is the night crew light, so you can use budget lights in your fish room as well, as long as you have plants that are like cool with, not having too strong of a light. Actually, I didn't take the coconut shell out of there. That was supposed to be from the Anacara that I put in there. They tried to massacre my guppies.
Oh, that's
So I had
sad.
to
You said you
remove
lost a few, huh?
Yeah, so these are guppy Endler hybrids, and then for some reason they come out like this. And I used to have the albino galaxy guppies from King Lee, but
Twin Cities
unfortunately-
guppies.
Yeah. Unfortunately, those are the first ones that the Nano went after. They were
That
like,
was a
"Let's-
bad day,
let's go
right?"
for yeah, I was grumpy that day.
No, not you.
Cause I was like my fish.
I know that
But
is
we
sad.
have Endler babies. This is just
You
a
got a ton.
boring grow out tank with my fake plants. I actually like fake plants, kind of.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to sneak some behind my live plants, so I can have that pop of color in between. Cause you see, there's a fake plant in the back there.
I actually didn't even see it.
Yeah, that's to create depth.
Which one's a fake plant?
All the way, the big leaves, all the way in the back. It's hard to tell because it's all green in there.
Oh, I see it.
And there's also algae on there, but I have it's for the Pleco because there's a little bristle nose longfin that's growing out in here, and I want them to have something to eat.
Now, are these all betas up here?
Yeah, so these are Betta Mahachai, predominantly females. I've been kind of slow to grow them out. And then there is the one little baby betta from earlier this year, the spawn.
Yeah.
The male ate the eggs, but she was
Now, is that the dad down below that you said?
Yeah, the red colored one. Her mom is cellophane, so that's why she's cellophane as well.
And what does cellophane mean?
Cellophane is no pigment.
No pigment. Got
Yeah,
it.
and you could actually see kind of inside her. So if she was ready to breed and she was eggy, you would actually see the eggs.
That's cool.
Because you can see their ovaries if they're transparent like that. So they kind of get along. Some of them are getting bigger and coloring up, so I would probably remove that one soon. I'm thinking about removing that one because their fins will grow out longer if you jar them. I don't know why. But that's
weird.
the same with bettas too. When you jar them, that's when their fins start growing more versus when they're together and they grow out. And I don't know if that's like a evolutionary thing. When you have a group of fish together and they're nippy fish, maybe it's better to have shorter fins when you're living together versus by yourself.
Yeah.
But the males, I've been selling a couple, but my males are here.
So these are your for sale ones?
I'm debating on keeping 2 for breeding. So I'm gonna uncard them. So you card them because you want them to have some peace and quiet. And then when you want them, or I could just take it out completely. When you want them to flare at each other. So they're different sizes, they're gonna show off and be nice and dark. So these containers are all temporary housing where I have to do water changes very frequently. And I always have to tell people because it's very important.
Ooh,
to
that guy's gorgeous.
Yeah, so that's better chances. I don't know, maybe if I turn off the light, you can see him better because when you get a flashlight too.
No, this is perfect.
But if I shine it, he'll reflect because they're reflective. See the colors?
Oh yeah.
It's showing off.
Yeah, on the gill and on the top fin.
Yeah. So they're the green mahachai, like with some bluish colors.
And you bred these?
Yeah.
Wow. I always lose stuff.
I lose stuff all the time. That's why everything is labeled because I'm so bad.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, everything has categories and labels on it, so I can. Because I'm bad. I'm bad at this. My fish is so messy.
Speaking of fisherman organization, I love this.
Oh yeah.
How do you get those stuck to there?
So they're magnetic, and this is apparently reacts with magnets. So this is magnetic, and sometimes, which is nice because if you have the powder one, you have fry food, and I don't want to open it. I can just turn it and then control how many holes. So here's like 1.5 holes or more, and then I can sprinkle it.
Ooh,
Not on me, okay. Well, banana will like.
Now, where do you get those jars from?
These I got at Bad Bath and Beyond, and then these I got at Michael's. So like these are spice jars, so you can stick them to your fridge. A lot of people will put spices and then attach them to the refrigerator. So they're good. I have like my fried food. I have my betta mix right here. I have some of the sticks for like the fish that like to graze over time. I have some flakes. And then I forgot what this is, but
That's really cool.
I got this from Sheila. Most people will recognize what this is, but I forgot what it's called. It's like, it's the ones
tiny.
that Corey was saying that pea puffers will
Fiber bites?
eat it. Could be, yeah. There, I think that's what it is.
Gotcha.
So,
that's
because
really
I have
cool.
more food that I store, but this is a lot easier because see, like I put stuff all around and I place it everywhere, and it's like there's food all over the place. And this, if I really wanted to, I can do like a whole row
Heck
of all my food, and then it's easy to grab. So if you feed your shrimp, if you want to like throw out your fish room.
Yeah, that's smart. I like it. I like it a lot.
Do it, and I keep my little temperature things. I can check my humidity, my temperature. It's toasty. It's a nice 79 degrees.
79 degrees in here.
Because I have to keep it warm. I don't
For the bettas.
heat the jars. When it does get colder, I will have to get some Flex Swat and heat them.
Gotcha.
So
now, what about this tank?
This is a Pleco / shrimp tank. The shrimp that are in here I got from Jason. They're just some cherries, but they're kind of like mixed. So they're like a fun little, like, I'm just trying to see if I can get them to survive big water changes. I've been doing like 60% water changes every week on this tank.
Wow.
And somehow they're doing okay.
They're doing good.
I don't know why.
I've seen a bunch in here.
So something is working. And then I have a ton of plecos. This guy, he likes to spawn. That's the daddy. He likes to spawn in this cave. I should actually check.
Well, he's young, isn't he?
He is. I want to see if he has eggs or not. He probably, nope, he just released his babies. So he's just making a ton of babies. Usually if I get a pistogramma, that's like where they would go.
Yeah.
And that's like my black water setup.
I like
That's
it.
a tank I got from you.
That's
that
a cute
I need
little
to
tank.
redo. I've just been keeping it like going, but there's nothing in there, just letting it grow wild. And these are the rocks that I picked out that I want to put in there. And then either I was considering putting the new betta and bellas in here, or maybe some shrimpies. Pooh was like trying to see if we can maybe try to Caridina, if we can take this water out and put RO.
Yeah, put RO in there.
Oh, maybe we can finally try it for the first
We'll do it. We'll do it.
Oh, I'm excited.
You got 2 shell dweller tanks.
Yes, so Shellies are my favorite, but
I love them.
Out of all the fish, this is actually my favorite fish ever. Lamprologus ocellatus gold. Why? Because they're mean. They're so sassy and so angry. And like, even that's why there's 2 fry in here, and there's like 1 fry by itself because it murdered his siblings.
Oh, what a bully.
So he's by himself. And I can't even put him in here because they will eat him as soon as he goes in here. They'll like beat him up.
I always thought Shellies were like take care of their own.
These guys do. They're nice.
Oh yeah, there's tons of them down here.
So these are like your friendly neighborhood Shelly. They can bully each other sometimes, which is why I have a random rock over there behind the guppy grass. That's the like where all the lone males that get bullied go.
Oh, they're so gorgeous.
But they're so cute and fun, and you can keep them in like a 10-gallon. I think it's the bigger tank you have, the better. You're gonna love Jason's tank because he has them in a low boy, 40-gallon low boy.
And that's an awesome tank for
yeah,
Shellys.
like a huge colony. These guys actually
That's
got from
crazy.
him originally, so this is
really?
his original group.
Did you get both of these types from him? Or
No. These guys I got were brought in. I don't remember if it was for a rare fish auction or someone just brought fry. But I'm lucky because these are 2 males, and then I have 2 females. One of the other females is actually hiding in her shell because she's got babies. She's somewhere, so I got a good ratio. And then this guy, this is his territory. This guy has this, and I made this barrier.
That's funny.
This is the no-go zone where the females, if they don't feel like spawning, they can hide because these guys can be really mean and they will fight you.
Jeez.
But they're my favorite.
They're really
Because
pretty.
look how cute they are. They have pink little bellies, and then in the morning, when the light shines from the window and the light's not on yet, you can see the pink. They're just
Yeah.
pink fish. The little girl inside me, like that's my little princess, my angry princess fish.
I love it.
These guys are Trillium Chromis. They look the same as these guys, but they're not. They're 2 different types. This is a group that's just growing out, so they're gonna have to be probably rotated. I'm probably gonna, once I get a BAP for those guys, I'll move them into that tank.
Gotcha.
This is a pair. They were married. Now they're divorced.
They're divorced?
Yeah, so this is Julia Chromis Organi, and they actually will pair spawn, so they'll form a pair. So I had a group, I saw these guys pair up, I sold the rest of the group, and I kept them. And for a while they were spawning for me. This is the female, and this is the male. Females are bigger for this particular species.
Really?
And she's the boss right here. And they were spawning for a while, but recently I took their babies out so I can rotate them and sell them in the club so that people can start breeding them.
Yeah.
And she's mad at me because I took her babies and she won't spawn with him for a while now. So he's being allowed to live because she's very mean, but she doesn't like him right now, so they're divorced. She actually has a cave that's within a cave that's got a little spawning cave in that 3rd cave because they're such
Oh my gosh.
shy spawners that if you can see them spawn, they won't spawn.
Yeah, so they need
want to
some,
be
like,
hidden,
really
so she
big
has to go in that little crevice. I like made a whole thing in there, like it's a thing within a thing within a thing that she has
That's
to go.
nuts. That's really cool though.
Thank you. So these guys
Look at
are
all these little guys
baby
down here.
crebences. They're F1, so their parents were collected from the wild. I didn't breed them, but they're from another member of the GCCA. He bred them, and then I'm growing out this group of 3. I'm hoping that this is a male and these are girls. I'm hoping. That one's trying to hide as much as possible because these guys, I think, are pairing up a little bit. They've been kind of going into their little coconut.
Yeah.
So the cool
I like
thing,
that.
because this tank, the other tank is further back, I have the coconut sideways, so when they
So you can
do
actually
spawn,
see
I
it.
can film it, which is kind of fun.
That's really cool.
So I'm trying to make their tank, because they like lower pH, so I've been slowly trying to drop it. I've actually been using the Brightwell soil. I put that in that little pot with the jungle valve in the back.
I see
So
it.
that way, I don't have to put soil in the whole tank, and that will still help lower the pH, and then the jungle valve has a
Absolutely.
substrate. So when you're doing spawning tanks, sometimes because you have to tear them down to catch fry or rotate fish, you don't want to do too much. So I
Yeah.
keep these tanks sort of simple. Like, this is going to be my next betta breeding tank.
Where's your invisible
My
fish?
Invisible fish. And then these guys, I was hoping to get a group, but they're all boys. So,
Are
yeah, Nanakara, they're shy. I'm thinking unless I don't find a female somewhere, I might sell them to someone that might enjoy them. They're very pretty, they're very cute, but they're mean, and they killed my guppies. So they're the Goldeneyes Cichlid.
Oh, those are the ones you had in the tank up top?
Yep, I made a mistake. Because I saw
Darn
videos
it.
on YouTube of people keeping them with other, like, little schooling fish, like neons and stuff. But I guess neons are faster and smarter than these guys.
And just guppies.
So,
Yeah, nice.
and
Darn
then the
it.
last tank, well, you can't see my secret. It's
Ooh.
secret, but it's okay if you just get a peek. That is my 5-gallon, and that was where the original pumpkin shrimp were
I
hanging
love that
out.
tank.
And I still have a few left, but my numbers have been dropping a little bit.
Darn
But
it.
I'm learning, I'm still, like, I'm a beginner shrimp keeper.
Yeah. And where'd you get this tank from?
This is a very, very old, what is that brand?
I like it.
They don't make tanks anymore. This is gonna be my little like nano thing. I'm gonna set up more
Let's
nano
do
tanks. We're gonna have a nano party.
Well, that's awesome.
Everyone's doing nano tanks. You're doing nano tanks. Jason, like Joanna's doing. I am.
I love nano tanks.
Awesome. It's a lot of fun.
Well, see, you guys can see I'm sweating. I'm sure. Are you hot?
Yeah, I'm used to it though. That's how it always is in here.
79 degrees in here. Kasia's got me sweating. So
Yeah.
I had a great time. Kasia, first of all, thank you so much for letting us come out and check out your fish room.
Thanks for coming out here.
You're welcome.
Getting me started with shrimps.
Yeah, and so just so you guys know, Kasia's channel is creative fish keeping.
Pet keeping, but it's becoming
Oh,
creative fish
darn it.
keeping.
Wow, I don't even know it. It's over here. There it is. Creative pet keeping.
Well,
and so
fish mostly, so it makes sense.
And a dog. So
yeah, but
go check out her channel, hit the subscribe button, check out her videos, especially if you like this fish room, which I know you guys are going to. So you guys make it a great rest of your day. And we'll see you guys at Aquacella this weekend.
I'm so excited.
See you guys.
Bye.